All right. Hi, Greg. Hello.
All right, are we all ready? Down here, we ready? All right, well,
Speak
folks,
loud.
thank all of you for coming out to discuss this very important, critical issue. But first, let me give honor to God, because were it not for Him, none of this would be possible. So, with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the situation that came to light recently. And I'm going to read this, and then I'll take some questions. I'll read my statement, so there won't be any misunderstanding. First of all, your House Supreme Court Justice Matt Dewine, in collusion with Hamilton County Chief Prosecutor Joe Deters, appears to have secured a public contract for his son, Matt Dewine. An independent investigation should be conducted to determine if there are any violations of Section 292142 of the Ohio Revised Code, having an unlawful interest in a public contract. As the elected senator representing the 9th District of the state of Ohio, I have a sworn duty to assure the citizens of the 9th District will be treated fairly and equally at all levels of government, including within the criminal justice system. College students should have an equal opportunity to compete for internships without having to be concerned about nepotism and cronyism. No one's above the law, and that includes those who have a sworn duty to uphold the law, including judges and prosecutors. On August the 14th, 2017, City Beat reported Jim McNair published a story titled For Prosecutor's Office Internships, Political and Family Ties Get You in the Door. So, what did Prosecutor Deters and Supreme Court Justice Dewine, what did they do? Section 292142, having an unlawful interest in a public contract, states, no public official shall knowingly do any of the following: authorize or employ the authority or influence of the public official's office to secure authorization of any public contract in which the public official, a member of the public official's family, or any of the public official's business associates has an interest. Supreme Court Justice Pat Dewine knowingly used the influence of the public office he holds to secure authorization of a public contract for a member of his family. Chief Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters appears to have been complicit in this act by agreeing to assist in carrying out an apparent illegal request. According to McNair, through information obtained from a public records request, he received a copy of an email exchange between Judge Dewine and Prosecutor Deters. On April the 23rd, 2017, Judge Dewine wrote, "Joe, can you find a spot in your internship program for my son, Matt, this summer? It would be a great experience for him. If you can, I would really appreciate it." Based on that request, Judge Pat Dewine has knowingly used the influence of his public office to secure a public contract for a family member, his son. The public contract is an $11 an hour summer job working out of the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office, paid for with taxpayer dollars. It's a signed agreement between Matt Dewine and Hamilton County. Matt's official start date, according to the county personnel records, was May 16, 2017. In this case, the smoking gun, if you will, is the email sent to Prosecutor Deters by Judge Dewine with his son's resume attached. His actions appear to be in violation of Section 292142A1 of the Ohio Revised Code, a felony of the 4th degree. Chief Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Deters appears to have been complicit by using the influence of his elected office to assist in carrying out an apparent illegal request. According to the City Beat story, within an hour after receiving the illegal request, Prosecutor Deters emailed his executive assistant, Janet Riddell, and stated, "Another for sure." This is what Joe Deters wrote. He sent the resume and the request to Ms. Riddell with the caption, "Another for sure." This response from Deters clearly shows he knew exactly the nature of the request and his actions going forward. Judge Dewine attached his son's resume to the email. Prosecutor Deters then forwarded Judge Dewine's email to Ms. Riddell with the resume attached, including in indicating to her that she should make sure this one gets hired. He used the code language, "another for sure." This language also implies there have been others. A thorough investigation should be done to determine the depth and scope of the problem. Prosecutor Deters' actions appear to be in clear violation of Section 292142A1 of the Ohio Revised Code. Deters used the influence of his official public office to secure a public contract for Supreme Court Justice Matt Dewine's son. Prosecutor Deters knew that by honoring the request of Supreme Court Justice to hire his son, his office could potentially receive favorable rulings in return. I quote the last sentence of Judge Dewine's email to Deters. "If you can, I would really appreciate it." One can easily infer the interest Deters would have in that language. In Deters' case, the smoking gun is he knowingly forwarded the email to his executive assistant with the instructions, "Another for sure." The chief prosecutor's actions appear to be in violation of Section 292142A1 of the Ohio Revised Code, a felony of the 4th degree. You might say, well, what's the big deal? It's only a judge helping his son get a summer college internship. However, we need not forget the charge and conviction of Judge Tracy Hunter under this exact same statute, even though nothing she did came anywhere close to the elements in the statute, nor anywhere close to what Mr. Deters and Mr. Dewine did. She was convicted under that section. Ironically, and I say this with emphasis, ironically, Judge Dewine was one of the 3 judges that upheld her conviction on appeal. As a result of all of this, we are demanding a thorough, independent investigation to determine whether any laws or codes of professional conduct were violated. Due to the conflict involving Attorney General Dewine's office, we are requesting a special prosecutor be appointed by Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor's office. In the event it is determined there were laws violated, we are demanding full prosecution. In the event there were no laws violated, then we are calling for the state to voluntarily halt any further action in federal court against Judge Hunter. we will ask them, or we would demand from them to agree to vacate Judge Hunter's conviction and drop any further prosecution. It's inconceivable to believe the state would continue to try and put Judge Hunter behind bars if there are no criminal violations in the conduct of the Supreme Court Justice Dewine or Prosecutor Joe Deters. We would also request an immediate investigation by the Supreme Court to determine if there are any professional codes of conduct violations. I also want to bring to your attention the Ohio Ethics Commission, and it's in your package. You have the rules that govern public officials, and in those rules, Section 4 specifically speaks to prohibitions against authorizing a family member's employment. Under Section 29, 21, 42, and the Ohio Ethics Commission, it prohibits a public official from authorizing the employment of a family member. A public official is any elected, appointed officer or employee of the state or any political subdivision of the state. Section 5 is what is critical. Section 5 of the Ohio Ethics Commission states, using a position to secure a job. An official is also prohibited by Section 29, 21, 42A1 from using the authority or influence of his or her public position to secure a job for a family member. Let me repeat that. For a family member. Even if an official abstains from decisions, the law prohibits the official from discussing, recommending, or otherwise using the prestige of his or her office, formally or informally, to get a family member a job. And also, under the Ohio Revised Code, in this same Ohio Ethics Commission section, it states in Revised Code 102.03, Section D, also prohibits an official from using her position to secure a job for a family member, and also in 102.3D and E, prohibits an official from using her influence, his or her influence, with other public officials. Let me repeat that again. Prohibits an official from using her influence with other public officers or employees, especially subordinates, to persuade them to hire a family member. Based on the investigation and report by Jim McNair of City Beat, the story clearly, based on the emails, show a relationship, connection, and a collusion between Joe Deters and Supreme Court Judge Dewine in getting his son a job. He was hired as a direct request, and he was paid $11 an hour. So with that, I'll be more than glad to take any questions.
Why would it take, if you're concerned enough about this issue, why would it take a newspaper article to get your interest to the point of filing this request?
Well, we just now learned this. This is something that was just discovered. You know, the issue is simple. If they're doing this, just like we found out what they were doing in the clerk's office, if they're doing these things, then it takes good investigations to figure it all out. And this was excellent reporting on one of the representatives of City Beat that brought this story to light.
Well, this is all about the Tracy Hunter case, is it not?
No, it's not. It's about parents whose children go to college, and then they would like to know that their kids have the same opportunity to apply for an intern position without having to worry about the nepotism and the cronyism. Right. If you read more of the article, you will see that it's littered with nepotism and cronyism of friends getting jobs for their family members. And we don't know how far back we can go to dig, and probably would find a tremendous amount of individuals that were given the favoritism of these positions.
You're tying the whole idea of Judge Trent Letter's conviction. You say you want it overturned based on this. Well, didn't the jury convict, rightly or wrongly, didn't the jury convict that case?
We're dealing with that. The courts are dealing with that. The fact of the matter still is that if she was charged, there's no reason these individuals shouldn't be charged. Simple as that. If she was charged, these individuals secured a contract, got a job for one of their family members. And when you read the story, you can see that other family members have gotten jobs, but the email speaks specifically to this particular individual, Matt Dewine, who got a job thanks to Matt Dewine reaching out to another public official, and then that public official saying, sure, case closed. He was then hired.
I may have said it at the beginning of this. Who would you like to see do this independent investigation?
Because it's the son of Attorney General Mike Dewine. Clearly there's a conflict. Then it would probably have to be an outside entity such as the Supreme Court, if necessary, Maureen O'Connor appoint a special prosecutor to do the investigation. I don't know what the chain of command, how that works when the Attorney General has a conflict, but yet still that can be easily determined, and it should move forward.
Is this like the good old boy network system they doing now?
Absolutely. Well, what we're dealing with is a situation where nepotism and cronyism has gone on far too long. Far too long. So many people in our communities who pay their taxes every day would like to know that their children have an opportunity, just as all the individuals that we see whose family ties and friends of certain individuals. You all remember way back, FOJ, Friends of Joe. We all know that. And it took a discovery of that to bring that out. God knows how long that had been going on, giving certain friends tax breaks on their property values. So we got a similar situation here. Friends and family members getting these positions. We have one judge who was convicted of this stuff when she never should have been brought to trial.
That's right.
And this is what we're dealing with here.
What you want done with them guys? What's it like done?
Well, the thing should happen. It should happen. The process should move forward, whatever is determined.
Judge Hunter, you have anything to say? Well, we can't hear you. Cecil, could you give the microphone to the judge, please?
Speak loud.
Thank you, Senator, for bringing...
Speak up. We have competition here. I'm sorry.
I'll wait till he passes. I'm not going to yell over him.
Thank you, ma'am.
First of all, I would like to say that I want to thank the reporter of City Beat for actually doing honest research and investigation and bringing this issue to light. And absolutely, as a judge who was wrongfully suspended from office after accusations that were initiated by Prosecutor Joe Deters, I absolutely believe that Patrick DeWine should be investigated, prosecuted, and sentenced to jail. Now, the difference between Justice Patrick DeWine and myself is that there are no smoking gun emails in my particular case. In fact, there's not one email that connects me to securing a public contract for a family member. So if I can be prosecuted under the law with absolutely no evidence and with absolutely not one email tying me to a public contract for a family member, then most certainly Patrick DeWine deserves to be prosecuted and incarcerated.
Yes, charged and convicted.
Senator, will you also be filing a complaint with the Ohio Ethics Commission?
Oh, absolutely. This is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg as to where I want to take this, because, again, this place behind me needs to be fully cleaned out.
Oh, yes.
Simple as that. It needs to be dealt with because it's went on too long, folks. This has been going on too long. And we got to, if we as a county are ever going to reach our maximum potential, we got to embrace diversity.
Yes.
We got to be able to address all the racism and all the cronyism and all the other isms that are deeply rooted in this system behind us. And I'm looking for all people of goodwill to look at this situation. And if we're going to heal this city, this county, this nation, we got to tear this system down.
Yes.
As simple as that. And this is the beginning of that. So all I'm asking you all to do is to be fair. Read exactly what he did. Compare it to the Ohio Ethics Commission rules, compare it to the statute, and tell me he did not do something that clearly violated that statute. It's evident. His son got a job at the request of another public official. I should say at the request, at the actions of another public official from the request of one public official. That's why we have the ethics laws in place in Ohio. Public officials. Think about this. You can't help but say Joe Deters will now expect some favorable decisions coming out of the Supreme Court, at least by one judge, because he's done a favor for that judge. That's why we have ethics laws to not allow that to occur. All right.
One more question. Do you think it's racism inside the system?
Well, racism exists everywhere. We see it every day on TV. It's in this system. It's everywhere. Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
So, folks, I appreciate you coming out.